Chapter 4: Adapting and Preparing. The day continued to pass for Kaizen in a blur of new experiences and insights. The courtyard remained lively, filled with the sounds of children laughing and playing. Kaizen immersed himself in the activities, constantly observing and cataloguing everything around him. To his surprise, he realized the children and caretakers addressed him as if he had always been Kaizen. Their familiarity with him was evident in their casual interactions and warm greetings. This revelation brought a mix of relief and curiosity. He tested this new identity throughout the day, responding naturally and gauging their responses. They genuinely believed he had been with them all along. In the common room, he joined the other children for meals. The atmosphere was filled with the hum of conversation, the clink of utensils, and the occasional burst of laughter. Kaizen savored the simple but satisfying meals: bowls of rice, miso soup, and grilled fish, each bite a reminder of the stark contrast to his former life. As he ate, he listened intently to the children's chatter about their dreams of becoming shinobi and their excitement for the upcoming Ninja Academy entrance exam. The mention of the exam piqued his interest. It was scheduled for tomorrow and would determine if he could attend the academy. This information was crucial. He needed to be prepared. The caretakers moved gracefully around the room, refilling bowls and gently reminding the children of their manners. They interacted with Kaizen naturally, patting his head and smiling warmly. It was clear that, to them, he was just another child under their care, known and loved for years. After lunch, Kaizen observed the children's routines. Some stayed in the common room, engrossed in toys or books, while others ran outside to continue their games. Kaizen decided to explore the orphanage further. He wandered through the playroom, noting the shelves filled with books and toys, each a potential distraction for a child. Picking up a book, he flipped through its pages, the illustrations and simple text a stark reminder of the innocence he had never known. The playroom was vibrant and welcoming, with low tables for drawing and crafts and cushions scattered for reading. Kaizen joined a group of children building with wooden blocks, carefully placing each piece to create intricate structures. His movements were precise and controlled, his mind absorbing every detail. During a supervised play session outside, Kaizen joined a game of kickball. He positioned himself strategically, blending in while remaining observant. He noted the children's joy and uninhibited laughter, adapting quickly to the game's rules without revealing too much of his true abilities. The afternoon sun cast long shadows across the courtyard, and as the day progressed, Kaizen felt an unexpected sense of belonging. Despite his analytical approach, he was touched by the warmth and camaraderie around him. The children accepted him without question, their interactions filled with genuine affection. As evening approached, the children were called inside for dinner. Kaizen followed, integrating seamlessly into the familiar routine. The dining area buzzed with the comforting sounds of shared meals and conversations. He ate quietly, reflecting on the day's observations and planning for the upcoming entrance exam. After dinner, the children wound down with quiet activities. Some read, others played softly, and a few whispered among themselves. Kaizen took this time to explore the orphanage's quieter corners, discovering a small library at the end of a hall. The shelves were lined with books, ranging from picture books to introductory texts on ninja techniques. He selected a book about basic ninja techniques and settled into a comfortable chair. As he read, a sense of anticipation grew within him. The entrance exam tomorrow was his immediate challenge, a gateway to understanding and mastering this new world. The orphanage, with its routines and inhabitants, was his starting point, and he would make the most of every opportunity. The academy represented a chance to learn the ways of this new world, to master new skills, and to establish himself. It was an opportunity to grow stronger, to adapt his assassin's skills to the ninja arts, and to carve out a place for himself in this unfamiliar environment. The excitement of the day had left Kaizen buzzing with energy. As night approached, he retreated to his room, seeking solitude to reflect on everything he had learned. The small room, which had seemed so foreign that morning, now felt like a sanctuary where he could gather his thoughts and plan his next steps. Sitting cross-legged on his futon, Kaizen closed his eyes and took several deep breaths, centering himself. His mind replayed the events of the day, the interactions with the other children, the encounter with Kakashi, and the glimpses he had caught of the Hidden Leaf village. Each memory was a piece of the puzzle he needed to understand and master this new world. Kaizen's thoughts turned to his past life. The skills and discipline he had developed as an assassin would serve him well here. He had been trained to adapt, to learn quickly, and to use his environment to his advantage. These principles were universal, and he would apply them to his training as a ninja. After the activities Kaizen participated in throughout the day, he gained a good understanding of where his fitness level was at, and could now begin his training with confidence. Kaizen began with basic exercises, his movements deliberate and measured as he adapted to the limitations of his new, smaller body. He started with push-ups, positioning his hands shoulder-width apart on the polished wooden floor. The sensation of his palms against the cool surface grounded him, reminding him of the countless training sessions from his previous life. He lowered himself steadily, feeling the strain in his muscles, then pushed back up with controlled precision. Each push-up was performed slowly, with an emphasis on maintaining perfect form and breathing rhythmically. Next, he moved to sit-ups. Lying flat on the floor, he bent his knees, planting his feet firmly. He laced his fingers behind his head, elbows out, and began the exercise. Each ascent brought a burn to his abdominal muscles, a familiar discomfort that signaled progress. He exhaled as he rose, inhaling as he lowered himself back down, the rhythmic pattern helping to focus his mind. Stretches followed. Kaizen stood up, rolling his shoulders to loosen the tension. He extended his arms above his head, reaching for the ceiling, feeling the pull along his sides and back. He then bent forward, touching his toes, the stretch elongating his hamstrings. He held each position, breathing deeply, allowing his muscles to lengthen and relax. These stretches were vital, increasing his flexibility and preventing injury. Kaizen's movements were fluid, a testament to his disciplined training. He transitioned smoothly from one exercise to the next, never rushing, always maintaining control. His young frame lacked the raw power he once commanded, but he compensated with technique and efficiency. The routine was a far cry from the intense regimens he had once endured, but it was a necessary foundation. As he worked through the exercises, his mind remained sharp, assessing his body's responses. He noted the areas of weakness, the points where his muscles trembled with exertion, and adjusted his movements accordingly. This meticulous attention to detail was second nature, a product of years spent honing his skills. Despite the simplicity of the exercises, each repetition was a step towards rebuilding his strength. Kaizen knew that patience and consistency were key. He envisioned his muscles growing stronger, his body becoming more resilient with each passing day. The path ahead was clear incremental progress, steadily pushing the limits of his young form. In the quiet of his room, the only sounds were his measured breaths and the faint creak of the floor beneath him. The outside world was momentarily forgotten as Kaizen immersed himself in the familiar rhythm of training. Each push-up, sit-up, and stretch brought him closer to his goal, forging a new foundation upon which he would build his future strength. As he completed his routine, a sheen of sweat glistened on his forehead. He felt a sense of satisfaction, a small victory in the grand scheme of his journey. This was just the beginning, but it was a crucial step. Kaizen sat back on his heels, taking a moment to center himself, his breath slowing to a steady rhythm. The exercises had served their purpose, reminding him of his discipline and determination. He was ready for the challenges that lay ahead, his resolve unwavering. Next, Kaizen turned his attention to chakra control. He had observed the Shinobi in the village, seen their feats of agility and power, and understood that there were two possibilities: they could be utilizing chakra, or their physiques could be naturally enhanced through rigorous training. Either way, understanding chakra seemed essential. Earlier, while exploring the orphanage's modest library, he had found a basic ninja technique book. It detailed fundamental concepts of chakra, its nature, and initial steps to sense and control it. The book provided a reference, but Kaizen intended to develop his own method, believing in the importance of crafting unique techniques tailored to his strengths. Kaizen settled himself in a quiet corner of his room, away from distractions. He sat in a meditative pose, legs crossed, back straight, and hands resting gently on his knees. The room was dimly lit, the soft glow of the evening light casting long shadows on the walls. He closed his eyes, shutting out the external world and turning his focus inward. He began by taking slow, deliberate breaths, each inhalation filling his lungs with air, each exhalation releasing tension from his body. His training as an assassin had honed his ability to control his mind and emotions, but this was a different kind of focus, one that required him to tap into an internal energy he had never consciously accessed before. The basic ninja technique book had described chakra as a flow of energy originating from every cell in the body and converging at the center. Using this as a starting point, Kaizen decided to explore and experiment. He visualized his body as a network of pathways, imagining the chakra as streams of light moving through these channels. Minutes passed, marked only by the steady rhythm of his breathing. Kaizen's thoughts drifted to the shinobi he had observed earlier in the day. Their incredible feats leaping across rooftops, executing complex maneuvers with ease could be attributed to chakra, enhanced physiques, or a combination of both. His analytical mind worked tirelessly, drawing connections between the descriptions in the book and the real-world examples he had witnessed. Slowly, he began to feel something, a faint warmth, a gentle pulse deep within his core. It was as if a hidden current was flowing through him, a subtle vibration that resonated with each heartbeat. This must be the chakra, the life force that the book had spoken of. The sensation was unfamiliar, but Kaizen welcomed it, focusing his entire being on understanding and amplifying it. Rather than strictly following the book's instructions, Kaizen decided to innovate. He visualized the chakra as a stream of energy, starting from his core and branching out like roots and veins through his body. He imagined this energy lighting up different parts of his body, concentrating on feeling the warmth and flow in specific areas. He mentally mapped out these pathways, his mind's eye tracing the routes the energy took. He experimented with directing the flow of chakra, willing it to move from his core to his extremities and back again. Each success, no matter how small, was a step forward. The room around him faded into the background, his awareness narrowing to the internal sensations. The warmth grew more pronounced, the pulse stronger. He could feel the energy responding to his will, albeit tentatively. The concept of chakra control was becoming less abstract, transforming into a tangible experience. Kaizen's breathing remained steady, each inhale drawing in strength, each exhale releasing unnecessary tension. He maintained his meditative state, allowing his body and mind to attune to this newfound energy. This was only the beginning, he knew. Mastery would take time, practice, and relentless dedication. But for now, sensing the chakra within himself was a monumental first step. In this quiet, contemplative space, Kaizen felt a spark of excitement. The possibilities that chakra control opened up were vast and exhilarating. He envisioned himself harnessing this energy, using it to enhance his physical abilities, execute powerful techniques, and navigate the complexities of this new world with unprecedented skill. The sun had fully set by the time Kaizen finally opened his eyes. The room was now shrouded in twilight, but he felt a new light within him, a glow of potential and purpose. He was ready for the next phase of his journey, armed with the knowledge that he could sense and control chakra. The challenges ahead seemed a little less daunting, and his resolve to excel in this world grew even stronger. He knew that his small body was a limitation, but it was also an opportunity to develop his skills from the ground up. The Ninja Academy would provide him with the techniques and knowledge he needed, but his past life had already given him the foundation of discipline and strategy. He would combine the two, forging himself into a warrior even more formidable than before. Kaizen allowed his body to relax, sinking into his futon. Despite his sharp and alert mind, he understood the importance of rest. His young body needed to recover, to build the strength and stamina required for the rigorous training ahead. As he closed his eyes, he felt a sense of purpose and determination. The day had been long, but it had laid the foundation for his future. "I will excel here," he whispered to himself, a silent vow to succeed. "I will master this world just as I did my last." Tomorrow was a new day, the beginning of a new journey, and Kaizen was ready to face it, one step at a time. His breathing slowed, becoming deep and even, as sleep gradually claimed him. His dreams were filled with visions of power and mastery, of a future shaped by his hands. As the moonlight bathed the room in its gentle glow, Kaizen drifted into a restful slumber, prepared for the challenges and opportunities that the academy and life in the Hidden Leaf Village would bring.